Alright, so welcome back to my channel, you guys. Want to go ahead and do a fun and exciting video because Rimmel went ahead and sent me their whole Stay Matte collection, the foundation and concealer, powder, setting spray, and all that good stuff, you guys. And when I saw this PR packaging, I literally screamed because it is the cutest in the whole entire world. It's like a paint can, and I think the whole idea is really good. But when you open it up, this is what it looks like inside, and it's kind of messy because I already went ahead and pulled all the things I needed from here. So they have all the concealers, powders, setting spray, sponge, foundation, all that good stuff in here, and I'm just so ready to use this. And also for the foundations and concealers, they did send this over, which is like the strips, and it has like all the shades on here in the front and the back, so you can go ahead and like pick your shade and whatnot. And I'm just so in love with this idea. I am so excited to try these out and see if they work for my skin. So you guys want to go ahead and see how I feel about these products, and go ahead and keep on watching. So I went ahead and did my eyes, and I know some people are gonna come at me because you guys always want to see how I do my eyes, but honestly, you guys, I haven't worn color in such a long time, so I did it off camera to see if I can still blend. And yeah, everything turned out really good, but next time I promise I will put the eye look. So first things first is primer, and you guys know I've been loving the Rimmel Stay Matte primer for like the past few months now. This is nothing new on my channel. They did send me a new one, but I'm gonna use my old one because I don't want to waste anything. So I'm gonna put this all over my face, and I really love how this feels because it is like not too matte or too like dewy. It's a very good consistency, and once you blend it on your skin, it feels very hydrating, you guys, but at the same time it controls your oils. So I have been loving this. Y'all already know about this on my channel, and let me blend it out. So for foundation, they did send me 4 shades, but these two are the closest one to my skin tone. The first one is 603 Chocolate, and then they have 501 Noisette, if I said that correctly. But this is too dark for my skin, and this is too light. So I feel like if I mix the two, they should work for my skin. But looking at the strips right here, I feel like my perfect shade honestly will probably be like mocha or deep mocha, but the shade that I got, 603, is a little bit too dark, and then Noisette is a little bit too light. If I mix the two, I feel like it should work on my skin. I'm a little bit nervous though, you guys, because I'm not the best when it comes to mixing foundations. I try to find like my perfect shade, but let's see how this turns out. So I'm just dotting it on my skin, and so far it doesn't look terrible. I am gonna go ahead and blend it out because I'm not sure what it'll look like. And they also sent me their Rimmel sponge. Y'all, tell me why this sponge is so soft and bouncy, because y'all know when it comes to drugstore sponges, they're so hard on the skin, but this one feels really soft, so I think it'll work on the skin actually. But let me blend it out and see what it looks like. So I'm not gonna toot my own horn, but I feel like this looks like a good match once I mix the two together. Like, it doesn't look bad at all, so I'm low-key proud of myself, y'all, because I really was nervous, but it looks really good on the skin. And in terms of the foundation itself, it's blended into the skin really nicely. Like, it doesn't feel too matte or anything like that. It feels really good on the skin. So far so good, you guys. And this sponge also is bomb. I don't know if they're selling this in the stores because I haven't seen them at all, but it is a really soft sponge. So moving on to concealer, I did go ahead and pull out 3 shades, and the first one is Espresso. This is like my contour shade, and the next one is Chestnut and also Golden Amber. These two I'm mixing together as my highlight shade because Chestnut was a little bit too dark to highlight with, so hopefully they look good together. But first I'm starting off with Espresso because I do want to add some color to my skin, and obviously, you guys, it's not that dark, but at the same time it will bring a little bit of color to my skin. I'm just gonna put some on my forehead and then underneath my jaw. And also, you guys, my voice is low-key going away. I don't know what is going on, but I noticed that it's kind of trailing off and getting raspy, so I'm really sorry about that. But moving back to the sponge, I'm just gonna take the sponge right here and blend it into my skin. And this sponge, I know I keep talking about it, you guys, but like, it's so soft and it's really, really good. But the concealer is blending into my skin really nicely so far. It is not as dark as I wanted. I'm pretty sure they have darker shades. Let me check on here really quickly. I'm sure they have darker shades. The darkest one is Espresso. I don't think they have a darker one than that, so this is the darkest shade. And even though this is like a matte concealer, I still love the fact that it's not like drying too fast, because I hate when I go ahead and put concealer on my skin and it's already drying quickly. This one gives you some playtime, so I really appreciate that. And to highlight my under eyes, I'm first taking Chestnut underneath the eyes, and This shade may not be that bad, but at the same time, y'all can tell on camera, like, it's not really giving me like a highlight underneath my eyes. So I'm first gonna apply this, and then I'll put amber honey, I think that's what it's called, golden amber underneath my eyes. And in the inner corner of my eye, I'm applying golden amber because I don't want too much of the shade. It's a little bit too light for my skin, but the two together should be perfect. And also, like, the foundation, the concealer blends into the skin so nicely. Like, you don't have to put in any work with these products. It just blends so well into the skin. And I really appreciate that, because when it comes to matte foundations and matte concealers, y'all probably think like they're drying on the skin, like they're probably hard to blend, but these are really, really easy to work with. And one thing I do want to mention, you guys, I feel like this concealer is a very light to medium coverage concealer, because as I blend it out, I can still see a little bit of my dark circles, which is not a bad thing because I may go in a little bit later and add some more. It's definitely not full coverage, but at the same time, it doesn't matter to me. I know a lot of people love a very full coverage concealer, but for me, I like to like build it up as I go. But at the same time, you guys, it's still blending really well into the skin. And to set my under eyes, I'm taking my Huda Beauty Easy Bake Powder in the shade Kunafa. So looking at the camera, I feel like everything looks really good on my skin, because at first, like I told you guys, I was looking nervous mixing all these colors together, but I think they look really, really good. But to set my entire face, I'm taking my Rimmel Stay London Matte Powder in the shade Toffee. And I feel like this shade is a really, really good shade because it's not too dark and it's not too light. It's a very nice in-between shade. So I'm going to take some of this onto my brush and just press it into my skin. And as I press it into my skin, I feel like it's blending everything really nicely together, because y'all can tell right here looks really, really ashy, but once I added the powder right here, kind of like balance everything out. Alright, so I don't have any bronzer from them, so I'm taking my Bobbi Brown bronzer in the shade Deep, and you guys know I love this stuff. I use it all the freaking time. And I'm taking my e.l.f. 101 brush. I'm just going to take some of this onto my skin. And the last product that I do have from them is the Rimmel Stay Matte Fix and Go Setting Spray. When it comes to my setting spray, you guys, I'm very picky. I only use my Urban Decay setting spray and also my Kuda and also the Matte Fix Plus. Those are the only ones I use, so I'm low-key excited to see if this works on my skin, because I don't really have a favorite drugstore setting spray. So let me go ahead, spray some, and see what it does. Oh my god, I cut in my mouth. Those were all the Rimmel products, and honestly, you guys, I don't have any complaints so far. Everything worked well on my skin, so shout out to Rimmel, you guys, because I appreciate the fact that you guys added a lot of darker shades and lighter shades and included everyone. Like, when it comes to drugstore, it's so hard to find that, so I really do appreciate that. But moving on to blush, I do have the NYX Dusty Rose blush. I'm just gonna add some of this onto my cheeks. It's a very nice, like, pinky blush. And to highlight my skin, I'm taking my Wet n Wild Hustle and Glow highlighter. You guys know that I have been loving this highlighter because it's only $7, and the way it looks on the skin, like, I cannot complain. So taking a little bit of this onto my Morphe, the number kind of rubbed off, M310 brush. Just gonna apply a little bit of this onto my skin. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and finish up the rest of my face off camera, and I'll be back with my final thoughts. I'm pretty sure you guys know how I feel about these products so far, but I'll be back in a second. Alright, so this is a completed look, you guys, and I love how everything turned out. Like, when it comes to the foundation, setting spray, primer, sponge, concealer, all that good stuff, you guys, they work so well on my skin. And I did want to go ahead and do like a full wear test, but at the same time, I do have Bible study, I have work, and I won't be back till like 11 o'clock, so it'll be kind of pointless at that time. But I will leave my thoughts down below in the description bar, so go ahead and check it out there. But you guys, like, my skin looks really good. I feel like the foundation looks a little bit too light because of how I mix it, but at the same time, I feel like everything turned out really well. But we'll go ahead and leave my thoughts in the description bar down below, so go ahead and check it out there. But I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe on your way out, and I'll see you guys in my next one.